Okay, so now I want to tell you a story about my first day in college, which I know will seem like a long time ago, but I wandered around a large 25,000 person research university, not too different from UCSD, but on the other side of the world. And I really didn't understand what they did there. It seemed like it was way too big to be just the classrooms to teach people like me physics and chemistry and math and biology. This was obviously before the internet. It was before email and web pages. And yes, Anthony and Omar and Sophie, we had pens and paper. It wasn't just stone chisels and papyrus. So I walked around during the orientation days from building to building, just reading what they had on the notice boards, the way that we old folk used to do way back then. And those notice boards were filled with the usual array of shared apartment rentals and free concerts and parties with beverages that I can't name, but which were legal back then for 18-year-olds in those days, long, long ago. And also there were these seminar notices, and there were seminar notices on just about everything you could imagine. Weird things that I didn't even know what they meant, but they sounded kind of cool. And that was my first beginnings of a primitive understanding of what actually a university does. And in my field, the idea that science, and indeed all learning, is not as what is in a huge chemistry book, but indeed what is not in a book. And I remember one particular title from the Physics and Astronomy building, and I remember it to this day, because the title was, "Is there intelligent life on Earth?" Is there intelligent life on Earth? And I thought, that's dumb, the guy has a typo in his title. He's plastered it all over the walls of this building, and what he really meant was, is there intelligent life on Mars? And that would, be kind of an interesting seminar, although not much. And I must say, I'm one of those scientists who believes that the science that we have about Mars tells us that Mars is dead, it's always been dead, ain't never going to be not dead, and I enjoyed the wait. But I digress. So then I read the title again, and there was a little paragraph under the talk, "Is there intelligent life on Earth?" And I finally realized what the speaker was going to talk about. He was asking, if you were an alien way out there on another solar system or in another universe, how could you figure out what was happening here on the blue planet, planet Earth? How would you even know that there was life on Earth from that far away, let alone intelligent life? What would be the signature? What could you possibly figure out about the planet from light years away? Is there intelligent life on Earth? Well, a few days later, I ditched my first biology lab in the afternoon, and I went to that physics seminar, and I must say, I've never looked back since. By the way, don't do that, okay? Biologists are people too. They have their labs. Don't ditch their labs. I'm sorry I mentioned the lab. Well, it will take me a long time to describe the rest of the lecture, but there was a part I remember about this halo of electromagnetic radiation emanating from planet Earth. And that would be, since the invention of radio and television, that would be one of the first things that all those cool aliens out there would actually detect about planet Earth. There would in fact be all these little alien couch potatoes out there watching our TV signals. And 50 light years away from us, there's a whole bunch of Laverne and Shirley shows beaming out there to the aliens. I hope they stay tuned until they get to PBS.
Of course not.
Well, that brings us back to the day. I don't know about intelligent life on planet Earth, but I do know about the students in this room. There's plenty of intelligent life on Earth right here in Southern California. And I'm very glad that you came here to see what we do, share your intelligence and passion and vitality and fearlessness with all of us. On behalf of the University of California, San Diego and Academic Connections programs, I'd like to thank all the teachers and the key support members here at Scripps and at the University of California, San Diego Extension. And of course, all the program's residential advisors, instructors, and most of all, you, the students, the people who truly make UCSD Academic Connections a special program. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jill. Hi, I'm Sandy. All right. I think I speak for both of us when we say that it was a real pleasure to have these students in our course. They were enthusiastic and creative and very active in participated in the learning experience. We, Sandy and I, at least, had a lot of fun doing debates, labs, tours, and field trips during the class, and we hope that the students enjoyed those activities as well. When we were planning the course, we had the goal that this class would help to instill in our students a curiosity about the natural world and an interest in a better understanding of the scientific process, specifically in a context of a science that isn't taught in a lot of high schools, geology. So we also hope that understanding Earth's history will give our students a context for understanding modern environmental changes and debates that are happening in the news media and in the scientific community, things such as climate change and evolution. And so, Sandy, do you want to?
And so as part of that, our students' final project was to imagine that they were some intelligent being who's on Earth sometime into the future, and to understand how they would reconstruct the changes in the year 2000 in these couple hundreds of years. And so we hope that you come see the posters in the back of the room. They did a fantastic job, and we had a great time. Thanks.
Next, we have Spencer Diamond with Introduction to Bioinformatics.
So let's all get aligned on stage here. It's a joke from our class. So, all up here. So yeah, I'm Spencer, and our class was Introduction to Bioinformatics. And I can't really say how proud I am of these guys, because it's a really difficult topic, and these are just some incredible students, and they've come in, and I've taught college students before, and they've really gone above and beyond all of my expectations for them. And we were able to do quite a few things in the class. We talked about DNA sequencing, protein structure and function, and macromolecules, and the students were even able to complete a project where I gave them sequences, protein sequences from my own lab, and unknown blocks of DNA, and they were able to analyze them and figure out exactly what they were doing. We were also able to tour a real laboratory on campus, and we were able to watch the movie Gattaca, so we got to see what could happen in a universe where DNA technology has gone wrong. So I have a lot of high hopes for you guys. I expect to see that you will be doing extremely wonderful things in the future, and that's pretty much all I have, so thank you, everyone.
He whispered in my ear yesterday, I know you'll take more than 2 minutes, it's okay. So I'm going to take advantage of that on behalf of the instructors to just say one last thing. Because they're reporters, on the first day of class, they learn how to interview by interviewing Aaron and me. And it's always a scary proposition because we never know if they're going to ask us questions like, are you interested in my acne care products? It seems like you need them. Or, in my case, they often recommend, give me some fashion advice. But this year, one of the students asked me a question that I want to share with you parents because I found it so striking that on the very first day of class, the student asked me this, which was, she said, Sam, what did your parents want you to go major in when you went to college? She didn't ask me what I wanted to major in. She said, what did your parents want you to major in when you went to college? And I said, well, when I was in early high school, my parents lost a business, and it was really hard for my family. And so my parents wanted me to do something that would be really secure and that I'd always have enough money. So I did, and I became an engineer. And I was a good engineer, and I had a lot of success with it, but I didn't like it very well. Not to say that I'm married to an engineer, it's fine, life's if it's for you. I said, and so after I did it for 6 years, I stopped it, and I went